I'm joined by BONECOLD from Acend, just coming off the back of their game versus Vivo Keyed. And yeah, it was definitely an interesting match overall as well. Before we get into talking about the match itself, though, as well, I actually wanted to talk to you about your preparation coming into the event of Champions. And in particular, as well, the kind of lessons you guys learnt coming out of Berlin and now coming into Champions as well, and how your preparation might have differed from that, and what changes you guys actually made coming into Champs as an event.
All right, so I think one of the there's a few things that we learn a lesson from.
He's trying to hide the taskbar. He's trying to hide the taskbar, and he can't figure out how to do it. Why? What? How is Bren so technologically illiterate? Just okay, it's gone. It's gone, bro.
From Master
Oh,
3 in
Jesus
Berlin.
Christ.
I think one of the things where like focusing our energy the right way. Last time we were in Berlin, it was the first LAN experience for all of us, and we were kind of overflowing with energy, and it kind of like just spilling left, right, and center. We were yelling to the enemy teams, and I feel like that's one of the biggest things is that like we keep the energy to ourselves, and don't really kind of try to ignore the enemies and just purely focus on ourselves. I think that's one of the biggest things. And other than that, the preparation, it's actually like like kept kind of the same.
Okay.
One of the things is like we're not that highly we're not that analytical team. Most often, like we have an analyst that does like great work, but we don't really want to like go into the trap of overthinking like what's the enemy is going to do. We more want to focus on like the things that we do ourselves. We want to be like the confidence on like the things that we do, and I feel like that's like one of our like strongest points as a team to like adapt and overcome.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so the mentality shift coming from Berlin to now, and that LAN experience really helping you guys out moving forwards as well. There were some adjustments you guys made, in particular with the roles as well. Yourself, you've been playing a lot more Sova. You've been playing the Initiator coming off the back of Berlin, and these role swaps as well. I'm assuming that was also coming off the back of Berlin and realizing that there needed to be some changes within your comps.
Yeah, I mean, I used to play, like smokes, like in Ascend, and in my previous teams, I was also, like I was playing smokes always. But I just feel like it's, I think it's just, like kind of personal. At least for me, it just feels a lot easier, like to like control the map and like make calls of like maybe SOA drones or KO flashes. Rather than like playing the smoke role, because in smokes I have the bad habit of like maybe sometimes like going in alone, and I kind of like sometimes I might get like kind of tunnel vision.
Yeah,
for me it's just a personal preference. Like when I IGL, I feel like it's a lot easier to be done with like with initiators rather than smokes, and in practice it has been showing like we play quite a lot better when I'm off the smokes.
yeah, sure. So definitely a comfort switch for you in terms of your calling and making sure that there's less of the tunnel visioning as well across the board with a role switch. That's interesting. With the maps as well, just talking about now the match that you just played against Vivo Keyed, the map set was a very interesting one. I mean, in some ways would actually kind of favored you guys in a way because Bind ended up squeaking through. You guys are some of the best when it comes to playing on Bind as a map. And you were dominant on that. But across the board as well, it did kind of slip away. Were you surprised to see Bind make it through in the map set?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say because like when we were doing like the preparation of Vivoki, we kind of realized like they haven't played an official with
It's hard.
Zera before. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like we kind of like we went into the vetoes of like with the bands that we wanted to make, and we weren't really what is it? we weren't waiting on like some specific bans coming out because they changed the player, no officials played. We kind of just went in with the flow and just wanted to play like the maps we played. So, but it still, you know, like letting Pine through. It's what is it?
I mean, good
It's
for you
kinda-
guys.
It's really
At
good
the
for
time,
us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, I can definitely empathize with how difficult it must have been to prep for them, given how they have new players in and there's a lack of the matches and VODs to actually watch from. Yeah, definitely quite difficult.
Yeah.
The match itself that we watched as well, analysts across the scene pinned you guys as the favorites coming into this, largely because of just how unknown. We didn't really know how Vivo Kid were going to be playing overall. Were you surprised at all by how much you guys were pushed by Vivo Kid in this series?
I mean, not really. You know, like we knew like they're going to have like you know like really insane players.
Yeah,
We weren't expecting you know like to just poorly win out like you know like in a really easy fashion. I think you know like even watching the previous games that have been played in Champions, you can't really underestimate anyone here. I feel like
absolutely.
everybody has come in with like a really surprising way. But I feel like you know like the maps that we played against Vivo Kid, I feel like we were performing, we were communicating as we like usually do. Like we didn't feel you know like any pressure like being you know like the
favorites.
what is it? The favorites. Yeah. We weren't you know like thinking about are we the favorites, are we the underdogs. I really feel like Vivo Kid just had a you know like excellent performance. They won you know like the crucial clutches
Sure.
that really snowballed in. I feel like in both maps. Especially on Icebox, they won some, you know, like 1v2, spam smoke for 3 kills.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was just, you know, like the smallest factor that came in and gave them the win.
Yeah. I know it's hard coming off the back of the match so recently, but from your perspective as well, what's something that you guys are going to be working on as you look forward to your next match?
I feel like it's just, what is it? I think one of the biggest things that they just have to do is, what is it? Just maybe play with more confidence and just come in, you know, like, it's hard to say because, you know, like, I feel like we performed and communicated like really well in those games.
Yeah.
I think one of the, like, the biggest things to take is just like playing with more confidence, you know, like don't be you know like scared of anything and just you know like go with the flow. Like on LAN, you like one of the things that I saw, like there's not so many lurks. There's a lot of things to go into the next games, and we will 100% like do our best to, you know, like what is it, to like
Group A,
mentally mentally reset and go into the next games, have some fun, play the best Valorant as we can.
Yeah.
And we're sure we're going to come back from the lower brackets.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure of it. It's definitely going to be really interesting in Group A as well, with obviously Vivo Key going ahead as well. This group in general is looking quite spicy. You've got Envy versus Acend. That's going to be the last match of today, and that's the other side of your guys' group. I'm not going to ask you who you think is going to win in that match, because I think most people would say Envy is the winners. Instead, I'm going to ask you, who do you think is going to be the other team to make it out of your group alongside your team?
I mean, just looking at how Vivo Kid played, this might sound like bias, but I actually feel like it's going to be us and Vivo Kid.
Yeah.
I feel like they showed excellent performance in these matches. So I actually wouldn't, mind saying that like Vivo Kid like would be coming with us out of bracket.
Yeah, I don't think that's a hot take, honestly. The Vivo Kid team, they are incredibly skilled. They have a lot of players that can just create magic out of thin air. That's all the questions I have, BONECOLD. Seriously, thank you very much for the interview. Best of luck with your future matches as well, and with the lower bracket run in the groups. More than capable, so I'm wishing you the best.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I want to say that I actually love Sideshow's interviews. I think these are one of the best.
Yeah,
so,
thank you. Yeah, I'll pass on the information. Thank you very much.
All right. See
Bye-bye.
you.
Wow, he loves Sideshow. Not you.